line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet. Not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Crank it up. Finger to the sky and a green light shining bright. The only thing I have in mind is the finish line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the time has come here on PTM Racing TV. We're live here today at Talladega County in Alabama. It's time to see Talladega Superspeedway presented to the Champion Power Equipment Fast and Fun Series right here on PTM Racing TV. Hi, everyone. I am the Crusader Christian Shriver, and welcome back to the show as always. Yes, you may have heard me not say the usual line, the Cup Series, because we're not driving the Cup Series today. They brought out the Xfiinity cars to the track. Yes, sir. They have brought out Xfinity cars because, well, let's be honest, those Cup Series Gen 6s cannot for the life of them make a pass to save their life here if it came to a slingshot maneuver, nor can those next gens at the moment. So, they decided, let's change things up. Let's run the Xfinity Series so it's actually a worthwhile show, and that's what we're going to get here tonight. So, let's start them up on the pole. Greg Zanny Fanjazik is going to be the number 40 is outside. The Mullet Man, Robert Lawrence, 34. Row 2, Brock Head, Brock White in the 82 is outside. Gar Snyder in that 88. Row number 3, it's going to be Josh Ball, the 21. Piloting outside of him, the 24, Nathan Meyer. Row number 4 says Christopher M. Hill. There in the 11 is outside. Kyle Holden, the 12. Row number 5 is going to be George Young in the 48 is outside. Boyd Hagen in the number 28. Row number 6 is going to be Dalton Collins, the 83. Is outside of him. It's the old Marauder, James Harris. Row number 7. That will be if we can get our time sheet up here real quick. There we go. Time sheet up says the Man Beast, Swayman Jr. in the 29's outside, Brian Lorenzo in the number 77. Row number 8, Triple Trade, the man came to play, Whitehead in the 33. Row number, and is outside of him would be Christian Wilcox in the number 53. Row number 9 is going to be Tyler Meeks in the 35 is outside, Charles Whitehead in the 51. Row number 10 is going to be Jacob Gibbons in the 20 is outside, Rich Sargent the 27. Row 11, Eli the Wild Child. Child's in the 9 is outside, Richard Fornshell in the number 90. Row number 12, Caleb Forsythe in the 76 is outside, Jason Taylor in the 15. Our final starters in this one tonight will see the attacker of Colin Lasmata, John Thacker in the 56 is outside, Matthew Johnson in the number 44. And finally in row 14, Stephen Clegg in the 22 and Sheldon Pearson in the 8, rounding out your field here tonight. Race fans, we are here and set to go for today's action-packed adventures at Lion Way. The Xfinity Series are on full display and full coverage here and now, and the time has come for these drivers to be put to their limits, to be put to the ultimate test, and to be put at the highest of peaks and the highest of racing. It is time to see this one play out right here and now. You want some fun here at Talladega? Well, we're about to give it to you. Here we go. We'll pilot them off the corner 4 down to the middle end of the front straightaway here, looking for the initial start of our race here in Talladega County. The field is lined up and ready to go for this one. They'll hit them off the corner right for the green. They're going to get set, and the green flag flies in the air. It's time to go at it. So many laps to the distance. The roar of these 750 horsepower beasts being put to full use and full life right now. 670 horsepower in these things, over 700 plus being added in. They will have, with a little bit of extra fuel mileage here, obviously, because it's Talladega. These things are going to be slingshotting left and right, looking for opportunities to move through the field and move through the chains when they can. Multiple angles and multiple areas they can run off and take positions from. It's all about how you handle your nerves and how you handle the track here, as always. Down on the front straightaway here, a little bit of movement up top side, outside line. They want to pull the slingshot early. Here comes the number 6. That's Josh Ball right now trying to put some Viagra up ahead. He says, I'm a hard man. I'm going to put this one up to the top side and make it run down to the bottom. He goes high, he goes low, and that's the way to go. He gets the run and takes the lead from Janzik. Janzik trying to keep that 40 in check and trying to keep his Elite Performance Industries machine up ahead in the fight. He knows he's got a lot of work to do here today. He's got teammates there like Brock Whitehead looking for his first win in the Xfinity Cup/Cup Series division, and also only his second win ever on PTM Racing TV. He's got a long list of drivers, though, he'll have to stay away from and stay under control with. This is a long, studded race, and there are not a lot of areas you can be making mistakes from. You got to stay careful, you got to stay focused, and make sure you avoid the madness, because the madness starts with a capital M around here at Talladega County. Dakota Wilson coming on board here tonight, pulling from us Southern Speed Motorsports boys. Dakota, it's good to have you on board. He joined us last night, of course, in the Truck Series division as they raced it down hard, raced it down well on the track end at Auto Club Speedway down in Fontana. Well, obviously, we've traveled pretty much across the entire states here. We went from California down to Alabama territory. And the Alabama game, I swear, is looking up from beyond our clouds here and across the skies, watching these guys go at it here to put on our show. Over 60,000 in attendance tonight, watching not only from our show here on PTM Racing TV, but also down here on the track servers and everywhere else. They came to see hard racing, and they certainly have been getting it out of the gate here as the packs continue to drive in and wheel down. Kyle Holden now in the number 12, trying to put Rusty Motorsports back on the map and put something on the track. He's got a runoff here coming up to the hard man. Viagra's number 6 of Josh Ball. Josh Ball right now trying to hang in there. Janzik looking to try to keep distance, keep maintaining distance as well. Brock Whitehead also kind of keeping it in that run. Right now, one guy you'll have to really watch out though for is one man that's literally out for a championship hunt. His point season, his points race has been absolutely flawless so far. I'm talking about the number 77 of Brian Lorenzo right now, as he is currently really the man of the hour and the man with the power. He is the guy everyone is trying to take down on that top spot, with the leaderboard starting to edge in closer to the end of their season. Only so many races remain in our season, in our championship hunts. Continue to get crazier and crazier by the day and by the hour. There is absolutely no telling what will come before anything else. There is absolutely no way of knowing how long or how far either of these drivers will be able to keep themselves in the championship hunt without a win or two, or without some major point implications. Keeping it on tonight, the Papa Beast joins us in. William Mann saying, whooping, you know what? Well, it's good to have you on board there, Papa Beast. Drivers starting to charge up now. Everyone looking to maybe go toward the outside. Looks like we've got a runoff on the out end. 3 wide. Saluting back in the field here. Here comes the Marauder, James Harris. And now the Green Mountain Grills crew looking to make a statement here. Pushing it quick, pushing it fast. You could say a little fast and fun action going down on this track. Nathan Marr trying to help out the Marauder, get up there with his teammate, the 40 of Craig Janzik, but Janzik leaving his team high and dry. He doesn't want nothing to do with them, trying to stay ahead of the transition, stay ahead of the curves. This is a track that can catch you on your toes and catch you at your worst, and they're very, very well aware of that. Now, I know I'm used to saying this is the Fast and Fun Cup Series, but again, tonight we're not running the Cup Division, we're running the Xfinity Series. And it's just really kind of weird to me that we go from the Cup Series to Gen 6 to see these Xfinity cars out with these Champion Power Equipment guys. And, you know, some of them actually, they're really just getting a feel, they really don't have anything to worry about. They're just kind of getting a good feel and a good position here on how to really maintain the distance and maintain the runs with these cars. They're doing a great job so far, really staying out of trouble and staying into the way they need to and where they want to play it at. Still a bit of a movement here, pushing through corners number 1 and through 2 now. As you see the number 12 of Kyle Holden trying to get Rusty Motorsports into the fight zone, into the runoff as we go through the corners here, down out of turn number 2. And now it's Brock Whitehead looking to possibly push his teammate, the 40 of Janzik, up a little bit more and get him up to where he can actually take and overpass him. Brock's been telling me all day long, he said there's one track I had marked on my calendar from day 1 with the Cup Series, and knowing we were going to Xfinity, I have been literally waiting for this moment. He qualified extremely well, got a 3rd place qualifying time, managed to really set himself up for this one tonight. And today, really on this track, he's going to need to keep very focused and very stable amongst themselves and amongst this field, because again, these guys are not going to give an inch from the back to the front. Those are hanging back there, by the way, guys like Christopher M. Hill. Remember, he won the last time he was out here. He had taken victory down on the track at Charlotte Speedway, and tonight he told me point blank, there is no strategy with these races. I don't even know why the heck people think it's a smart idea to run up front all the time. I'm just staying back here, and these guys can wreck themselves out if they want. I'll wait until I can get a clear pass zone. Guys like Eli the Wild Child, Steve Clegg, Rick Sargent, they're all hanging down there too. John Thacker, Caleb Forsythe, every single one of them's hanging back in that field here. So you got guys right now that are in the mid pack and in the lower pack that are driving hard and driving quick. And now Dalton Collins, Boyd Hoggett, Christopher M. Hill, and looks like that was a 91 there of Trevor Kasher, all heading into pit road. So I'm interested to see what kind of strategy is here, what they're up to there. Although we're probably going to stay out of trouble. Oh, by the way, before I even forget, guys, Kevin Crusoe's birthday is today, so in the chat, wish him a happy birthday from us here at PTM Racing TV. And Kevin, I know I've already said happy birthday to you, buddy, on your Facebook end, but happy birthday, man. I'm not sure what he wanted to get exactly for Christmas for his birthday present, but I think it probably would be another win or another trip to Victory Lane. So, or maybe just one of his Blackstone Management Racing teams to guys to get a win here. I don't know. It's hard to really tell what anybody wants anymore, to say the least. Now on board here with George Young in number 48 as he continues to fight it out here amongst the packs and in the field. Young still looking for his very first career win here, and one thing we've always talked about, Talladega or Daytona, this is a track that can reward good drivers with strong runs and strong momentum, but it's also a track that can bring out an underdog story and actually give them a fighting chance. This is one of the very few tracks out there that actually can still be a winner's paradise if you know how to run the race in the way everyone else knows how to. But again, it's a little bit of luck based, and it's a little bit of pure speed you have to manage around here. I know a lot of folks at home say, well, it's just play track racing. I mean, yeah, anyone can win here, anyone can get lucky, but it's like, yeah, anyone can get lucky here and win, but I mean, the biggest thing is how many times can you survive out here? That's the biggest thing. If I said it once, I'll say it again. Winning out here is not the easiest thing to do, and there are no such things as flukes here, unless literally you went one lap and it all of a sudden started to rain out here, and then that's how the race ended. Then I'll say that's a fluke. But no, this track and this race here, there are no flukes when those that won. There's a reason why Dale Earnhardt Sr. has won multiple times here on this track. There's a reason why Dale Jr. has won multiple times on this track. That doesn't just get lucky. You have got to figure out how to master the car, master the tracks, master the runs, and master the speeds, and how to keep everything in play and in line to then be able to move through the entire field and move through the entire sections and still come away with a winner or W. That takes a lot of skill and takes a lot of time and effort just to even figure out. And yes, it may not be as strategized and as smart racing or really even long-term racing as you would back at, say, like a mile and a half, like Texas Superspeedway, or even go to 2 miles like Michigan Auto Club, or even the mile and a half like Kentucky and Kansas. That's not really necessarily what we're about here. This right here, again, is just all about patience and timing. You gotta make sure you watch yourselves. You don't want to get too close, too caught up in the moment. You want to stay under control. Find the right time to go into pit road. Find the right time to get in with the packs and fight it out for the race win. And really, it's all about who can get there first, as it is with every other race. So, I mean, those out there who want to call this a legitimate race, or they want to call it a legitimate win if you win here, I'll tell you this right now. It took me over 2.5 years before I ever even got a win at Talladega Superspeedway. And I've read races where I only raced like 3 or 4 guys on a track. So that should tell you enough right there. It's just so crazy how hard it is to actually win, how hard it is to get a victory. It's just, I mean, only the best drivers will get lucky and the worst drivers will get lucky. But at the end of the day, there is always that underdog class, that underdog feeling you can get by just simply taking on a big 2.5 mile plus long track as crazy as Talladega Superspeedway. Speaking of play tracks too, while I'm at here, I do know that we also have the elusive Atlanta Motor Speedway kind of put on the roster and on the back runners here now, because they have actually got that track all cleared up and ready for practice and testing sessions. So I'm very interested to see what happens there as they will run those Cup and Xfiinity trucks down there. Right now, I believe I saw some Xfiinity running on the track, and pretty interesting to see just how low they were on the speeds and on the corner ends, and they were making some pretty good progress. I'm definitely interested to see what will happen when we actually get a race down there, and if it will truly be like a play track style format, I wouldn't say it really would be for the Cup Series though, because again, there's over 670 horsepower plus in there. So the flight track package, I believe, is like what, 750, 760, 780, something like that. Tony Westcott saying drivers are dancing around but putting up a great show. Yeah, they really are, Tony. I mean, you kind of got to, though. I mean, you think about it. You're at Talladega or Daytona. What's the first thing that most people say comes to their mind when they think that track? What's the first thing most will say out of the gate if they don't involve a driver and they don't involve certain races? It's always that one glaring big issue, the big one. The big one, for those at home that are new to our show and never watched us on PTM Racing TV before, it's basically when all the cars get into a bit of a scruffle, a little bit of a wreckage, and that's when things go haywire. Continuing the momentum and continuing the pace around the track right now. Garth Snyder, the 88, pretty surprising here. He qualified 4th tonight. Pretty starting little statistic here. Obviously, the Fox Racing 88 machines had a bit of a bad stretch here on the track as of late. He said to me earlier today, though, I've been pretty careful about that. I don't want no more of that nonsense. I don't want more of that broadcaster curse. So you better not bring my name up into this. And I told him, well, you know that's the case. If you're up front, I'm going to talk about you. So. Tony Westcott, not saying anything bad. Just wanted to say how talented jars are doing. Oh no, Tony, I'm not saying anything like that, man. It's just like I'm talking like all around. Like some of the criticism and some of the things like some of the folks have said here to me, or personally, or even on the forums and the Facebooks, the messengers, Twitters, the Instagram handle. That's kind of where I'm coming from. Nothing on you or anyone specifically. It's all just kind of basically those out there that want to try to like derail the whole point of the races here at the Talladega or Daytona. I mean, at the end of the day, this is still, in my opinion, probably one of the most fun tracks to watch races on for a variety of reasons. And it's always a fun show and a fun battle amongst the greats and the toughest of drivers, for a variety of reasons. But really the biggest one to me is always going to be because no one is safe when you're up front. It doesn't matter. You get one driver that gets a good push or a good run on you, they're coming for you and they're going to take you for a ride. Well, 20 laps in so far of 70, and so far I've not tried to jinx anybody, and I know I'm probably going to get hate for this, but we're still clean. Nobody going too insane or crazy right now, so that's the good news. And speaking of good news for Mr. Wilcox, well, he's a hard charge tonight. He's up 13. He's muscling through the field. Now 14. The big push with Nathan Meyer here on the front straightaway. Oh, the Zanny fam's in trouble. Here comes the 53. It's time for some Chick-fil-A to be open on this Tuesday night. They may not be open on Sunday, but they're opening up a can of you know what around here. The chicken's a clucking and he's fighting up there. He's trying to hang in there with Janzik, but unfortunately that draft on the bottom lane seems to be just enough more than the draft up top side. Look at Charles Whitehead, though. Look at him piloting that 51 JBL machine right up to the fight. Charles Whitehead told me earlier today that he's pretty much been kind of the weak link of the Whiteheads, and he knows it all too well. But like Rockhead has said before, This is an equalizer track. It's all about how do you handle and how do you hit it up. And they are certainly getting that and then some. Coming on board here tonight, let's see who we got also with us. Mike Sobey coming on board saying, my money on Mullet Man. Oh, the Mullet Man's got some love here tonight, my friends. The Blaster Master himself. The Mullet Man OnlyFans. And guess what? He started second tonight. The Blaster Master is keeping it right where with the crew. Only the Supra leading the pack as the Fords follow from behind. And boy, do you want to talk about some absolute madness here and some crazy racing? This right here, my friends, just gives you an idea, a feel of just what these guys are expecting to deal with and what they're having to run off with. This is really the hardest part to kind of get with, is making sure you stay out of trouble and stay out of problematic zones when you're running in this deep and running in this quick. There's so many angles, so many ways this can go down, so many other drivers back there even. They're watching very far ahead. They're keeping a distance and keeping themselves really occupied because of one reason. They don't want nothing to do with the big wreck. They don't want nothing to do with that back up front. They want to do their own thing. They want to stay out of trouble. If they start wrecking, then they can start to really clamber away and get things figured out from there. That's their strategy, and it's a pretty smart strategy overall. But right now, as we continue on with this race, when we come back, folks, there is more action to be had here at Talladega County. Somebody's walking away with a W, and it could be a first-timer or a repeat offender. Which one will it be? Find out with us when we return. Tonight's race, ladies and gentlemen, is presented in part by our good friends over at Champion Power Equipment. You guys need the right tools for the right job and the best power generators around. There is only one brand and name at PTM Racing TV trusts in ourselves as well, and that's with Champion Power Equipment. Be sure to check them out on their social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and also check them out on their local listings at championpowerequipment.com to find the right tools for your next job. Back to the action now here as we get fielded back in position and in the play. Wilcox and Lawrence right now, a little bit of a heated battle between those two. Lawrence on the bottom, Wilcox on the top side. Right now, everyone else kind of pushing from the back end of the front. A lot of angles to work with, a lot of openings to go with. It all depends on what kind of driver you are. Are you the kind of driver that wants to really push your luck and see where this one goes? Or are you the kind of driver that wants to keep it clean, real smooth and neat, and then go for it all in the last 3 or 4 laps? I can tell you one thing, there is one track that's still circled on my list that I really want to go visit. It is certainly Talladega Superspeedway. Steven Tire Plus, I bet the guy that finishes the last lap first wins the race. Well, probably if I had to guess. Hey Tony Westcott, if you're still on board, I gotta ask you, man, what do you think right about now with how the way these guys have been? Because, I mean, it seems like you talked about them earlier, dancing around, having a little good time. I mean, that's one thing I'll say, is that they have been dancing and moving around quite a bit, putting on a show, but how long do you think before they just start to say, enough with the dancing, fooling around, let's go race some racing here, boys? What do you think, man? Currently on our Facebook Live end as well. For those that are on our YouTube end following this race here, thank you for tuning in as well. Hope you subscribe to our channel here. But of course, obviously, we're going to broadcast these races on the Facebook Live section for our end here. Pushing them on to the front straightaway right now. Janzik, Whitehead, Lawrence, all in the fight, all in the hunt. Everybody looking for some openings, looking for some major grips and some power-based maneuvers here to work around. We go on board here with Brock Whitehead, and tonight really so far has truly been the performance he's been looking for in the battle he wants to claim. But again, to knock down the Zanny fam, his own teammate, he's going to have to rely on his tricks and his clever tactics, the same way he did back to Texas Motor Speed with those truck series. And I'll keep bringing it up again because that night he really was the guy to beat. He was the man no one could figure out how to touch. And right now at Talladega, we're seeing kind of that same situation. We're seeing that kind of same ordeal. He's watching himself. He's making sure he keeps a close eye on everything. Doesn't let things get too far out of his head. He's keeping a very clear mind, very considerate, very conservative. He's very clever, very cheeky here. I love what he's doing. He's not doing too many crazy things. He's just watching himself, watching the track, watching the moment. If he can stay in that moment and stay under the course and under the track, I really think this could be his night. He's just got, or his day, I should say. Tony Westcott saying, my guess will be coming at lap 30. I said, yeah, good point. I asked him earlier when he thought that, because he said earlier in the comment section, those that are just tuning in or just missed out, he was asking about the whole he was watching them dancing around, having a real hard racing moment or two here. But I asked him when they think they're going to start to take the reins off and just take off the little ballerina shoes and go full on dancing to these guys. Right now, anyway, it's been anyone's guess who's going to do what and who's going to do where. Boyd Hagen, Christopher M. Hill, Dalton Collins, all of them have pretty much stayed the course behind everybody. They went into pit road a lot sooner than everyone else out on the track. On the outside, banking right now here, underneath the Mara, the 24, trying to put the Ford Mustang machine. That is I'll be honest right now. Of all the rides that he's had to drive tonight, I will say that Mustang is by far my absolute favorite looking ride here on this track today. That is a gorgeous piece right there. I don't know what it is. I think maybe it's because the Mustang is just so perfectly centered in the middle. I mean, the only thing I really would have changed maybe is that number placement. I would have put it a little. I would have made it a little smaller and probably done some kind of chromed up with it, kind of put it in a better spot there. But I mean, that thing is an absolute beauty to look at, and it really just matches the look of that Mustang design anyway. It's just, that's a pure looking ride. I love it. So West King, and if you ever get a chance to go to Talladega, definitely go. You will not be disappointed. Been there 3 times, had an awesome time. Oh, contrary no Fred Westcott, I have been trying to get down there. It's just unfortunately, if you guys couldn't tell, I think I'm pretty much broadcasting almost every single day of the week. So finding time with this and my full-time job, it's easier said than done to go do these things. Although don't worry, I make plenty of time when NASCAR or any of the dirt track races or stuff comes to my town here in Iowa. So I definitely head on march down in Boone when I can, especially the Super Nationals down in Boone. But I will say I will be if anyone does go to the Knoxville races there, hit us up there. Hit us up on Twitter and let us know you're going to be there, because I actually will be down there as well come this next July. So hope to see you guys there. Hope to see you tuned in with us there as well. I don't think you'll miss me. I'll probably end up wearing my PTM Racing TV shirt when I'm over there. But speaking of heading to PTM Racing TV, right here, we're going to have a little bit of a fight going into pit road. 3 wide saluting there for just a brief second as Brock Whitehead and Craig Janzik almost colliding in there with them. OnlyFans Robert Lawrence, as Josh Ball, James Harris, as well as Brian LaRonza will stay the course and stay on out. Now you're probably wondering at home, wait a minute, why are they going into pit road now? Why didn't they go earlier when the other guys like Boyd Hagen, Christopher M. Hill, and Dalton Collins went in? That's a very good question. I've got a good answer for you. Really, it's all about fuel limits, fuel mileage. You only get so many fuel limits and fuel mileages here on this track, and only so many laps will work with your car and work with your setup. So you have to still have a little bit of time and effort in the right place and the right shots to work around for the go here. And that's exactly what these drivers are really paying close attention to, as they're having to slam on the brakes to make sure they break in just enough time. Josh Ball might have almost ended up with a speeding penalty there, considering how hard he went in. The rest of the gang you saw in that second pack have also headed into pit road, so now it's really these 3 guys that went in earlier on, looking to move the chains and move through the field. Boyd Hagen, our lone Canadian driver. Been a while since we've seen one of our Canadian friends from up north coming down to the track, but now Boyd Hagen, the 91 Chevy Power Equipment Cup Series, represent for the birthday boy tonight, Kevin Kershur. Right now, moving the chains up to the race lead. We have ourselves a new leader, folks. Evan Christopher M. Hill and Dalton Collins will make the way and make the change. Kale Gale not with us here tonight, though. Kale, if you are watching from your show, watching from your fans and family's place, thanks for coming on board here, bud. And we do miss you. Hope the newborn's not giving you too many headaches down there. Jennifer Valeska, I hope I'm saying your last name right now, sweetie. Saying go number 77. Mike Sobey saying the money on the mullet man. And everybody else coming on through the track still. Guys back on the track as well. Josh Ball currently just moving up further half ahead. Problem is he's got no draft, no partner, and well, in this dance, my friend, it takes at least two to tango. Here comes the big ack. I'm gonna right on his rear end, trying to put it back on the attack. Lawrence looking to maybe pull a slingshot move off of Janzik if he can get around him there. A little bit close corner contact there from Ball and Janzik. Janzik nearly catching a piece of him. Going through that front straightaway tri-oval area. That would have been a gnarly little spot to get into it with, and not an area you exactly want to take it to. If you know what I mean. Stay out of that mess, my friends. You don't want nothing to do with it. Sheldon Pearson going to get put a lap down. Unfortunately here, his pit strategy not quite playing out the way he was hoping for. That will center him back off and really kind of switch the momentum and the change of the gap zone right now. Take a look at our Ford, Chevys, and Toyotas here tonight. Toyota actually being a pretty good representation here. A lot of guys in those Toyota camps. So, still as usual, the Chevrolet, so absolutely dominant and tough to maintain. While the Fords, with their sleek aerodynamics and real package runoff they can get, they certainly bring to it. Back up front right now, the Blackstone Management Racing boys here working together, working every single line, every little spot here, making sure that they can help each other as well as their crew and teammates. They're not worried about passing, they're worried about just getting them to the finish line. The drafting part is another expensive little hobby here, because one thing we don't talk too much about is because of the fact you draft, you're not having to hit the throttle as nearly as hard or really burning up through so much of the fuel line as you think here actually. Because you're drafting, you actually, in a way, can back off the throttle a little bit and kind of let off just enough to where you can actually save fuel and save laps on the track, which actually gives a bit of an advantage to those that are behind the leader, whereas the leader, they have to go full send. They can't let off at all. And they let off one time. Let's just say they might want to wish they had never done that, because that's going to pretty much cost them everything. Coming down the ends here past the halfway mark, and really it's been an absolute pleasure to see so far what these guys have been able to bring to the table and what they've been able to do so far. But again, it is early, and I say early because really, unless you got 2 to go, there is no safe points and there is absolutely no safe areas on this track. You cannot whatsoever get comfortable or get cocky or get the slightest bit nervous. You have got to stay red hot focused, stay on your toes, stay in the moment. Do not let this track think for 1 second you are safe. It will make you wish you had never thought that, and it will make you wish you never even began to even get that idea in your head. Right now, 11 seconds ahead, Boyd Hagen, Christopher M. Hill, and Dalton Collins are the head of the field of Janzik, Lawrence, Whitehead, Snyder, and Ball. Just saying the top 8 here. Alonso and Wilcox kind of hanging in that top 10 section at the moment. That 11-second gap, though, folks, that really kind of hurts the chances and the opportunities here for anyone to really make a run for them and make a run at it. Again, they went into pit road early because they were trying to stay clear of everyone else's pit stops and everybody else's little pit strategy, which in turn can be a smart play, but it also can be a bit of a hassle to work around, because if you're not careful here, you can get actually you can get a little too outraged and off the shot, and that can really cost you big time here. So right now there's 4 packs right now. The 3 up front, the ones we just showed you. Here's the lower end of our pack, which involves Eli the Wild Child, Richard Fornshell, Steve Clegg, and Jason Taylor, as well as Charles Whitehead back there. That is your third half here currently, or excuse me, your fourth half. That's currently working through the peel, trying to make any changes or moves they can up to the front. Meanwhile, up ahead of them, just not by too much though, Nathan Meyer, Kyle Holden, Nathan Meyer, George Young, Matthew Johnson, Jacob Givens. They're in that pack of 4. And really, again, everyone's got kind of a different playing field and different strategy, and some maybe fell in the different category than the others. They're all watching for that one little thing, which is, can they get a bit of a break and can they get a bit of an opening? They are not trying to do that with a caution, though. They're looking for a green flag run and a green flag momentum boost. Now, I did say, honestly, I was pretty impressed back at Bristol Motor Speedway with the Cup Series when they actually were pretty much green flag for most of that race, if not almost all of it. And Talladega has certainly not disappointed on that end either. It's been clear cut, it's been clean cornered. It's been just hard racing. And that's really exactly what we need to see. That's exactly what we want to see as well. Bit of a position change right now. Rick Sargent and John Thacker put back in the pack here. And I'm not going to lie with you guys right now. I'm kind of surprised with Thacker, because he's not usually a guy that, well, shall we say on the record, likes to give things up too much or likes to give up positions to anybody. He's usually that guy that when he comes out on that track, if he's not putting a bumper to you or he's not putting it right up against you, he will not be running his usual chicanery or his usual mouth on this service. So, but I think he's going to be a little bit happy to know he's not going to get a lap down anymore. Hagen, Hill, and Collins going to pit road. They got a break on time though, or they're going to end up having a pitting penalty. That will be their last pit stop, more than likely, depending on the circumstances here. Actually, we'll look at this for a second. Hold on, let's pull this up for a minute, because you guys are going to want to see this. Let's take a look at the stint link here on the pit strategy. Look at this distance here and gain. Do you notice something special here? Jantic and all of them went about 33, 35 laps in total. 32, 31, 30, so or everything. But look at how long you saw Hagen, Hill, and Collins go. They went in at lap, I believe it was 10 or 11. They went a full 30. Do you start to notice the laps here? Do you start to notice what they're up to? What they're doing right now is actually pure genius. What it is they're going to be pretty much crossing through, crossing their I's, crossing their T's, and actually making this a full set run to where all 3 drivers, if it goes full green flag, they will be the ones as far ahead as even 11th or 12 seconds ahead. Do you start to know do you start to see the genius here with what they just did? They were in the race lead for quite a bit there, and they actually had a huge distance on these guys because of that pit road strategy. So now this becomes an even bigger problem for those that are trying to get fresh sets of tires, fresh set of fuel and everything in that car. Now they got to worry about how the heck they're going to be able to push up far enough to take down Hagen, Hill, and Collins if this goes the full green flag link distance, which so far there really hasn't been anything that tells us otherwise that these guys are going to get too crazy out of control. Unless all of a sudden we do get to that moment where we've seen earlier, which is basically everyone getting a little bit hot-headed and a little bit more focused on trying to get ahead of the field. Westcott said lap 30 is when they were going to start getting there. Well, I would say they started it back at lap 10 if you're the Blackstone Management Racing team. As for Ovalson Performance and Sutter Speed Performance, man, those guys, really, they have been kind of on the other end of the spectrum. They're on the other foot. 3Y Motorsports, of course, like Harris and Mann Jr., they're all at it in it to win it. Harris having really probably one of the worst seasons, I would say, for his Cup and Truck seasons. Although he's an Xfinity knight, so I mean, if he can win this, he'll have the best Xfinity record of the books right now for this season, but I don't know what else I could say there. Piloting him on around right now. Currently, you see some movement up there from the Haas Ford Mustang 35. Tyler Meeks. Meeks last night at Auto Club Speedway, he was giving it all she had and then some with the Truck Series, but unfortunately found himself in a bit of a bad omen, a bit of a bad spot. Just drove it way too hard in certain corners and drove it way too off-centering, off-target for what he wanted to do. That cost him a lot of time. That cost him a lot of chances and a lot of grip and ground. He told me earlier today that point blank, I'm not letting that happen again. I'm going to make sure when I get out of that track that only I and myself, my team, will be at our peak, will be at our best performance. We cannot be letting things get away like that. And he sees it right now because these guys are getting a little bit less impatient. We got 25 laps left to go. And I think they know it is either time to go or it's time to start muscling quicker ahead, because if Boyd Hagen and M. Hill and Dalton Collins have anything to say about what they're up to right now, it's certainly what they're currently planning in. But I don't think they have anything. But I don't think they have anything to worry about on their end. What they got to worry about is basically what these guys are going to do up front, because there is a lot of movement back here. There's a lot of drivers starting to push and shove, come to run and done. Thacker going to have to stay at the bottom. They're going to go a little 3-wide slip for a brief leading second. Going to right through the field on the front straightaway. Bumpers being put to the test. The bumpers are being put to the test, and drivers are being mentally put to their fullest limits here. Garth Snyder trying to get back down to the bottom. Gets it out of the mess and gets it right on where he wants to be. Nice driving there by Snyder, as well as everyone in that pack, to avoid lap traffic. They got themselves in a bit of a pickle there, kind of coming on that end. But they were able to avoid and survive and conquer. But again, that doesn't mean anything on this long distance run. There's still drivers way behind them looking to find an opening, find a clear-cut advantage here. There are multiple drivers still in this to win it. And again, the guys that seem to have the right strategy, and really the strategy that could win it out, is those top three guys right there. But you see, here's a little bit of a pack change here, because now the guys like Eli the Wildchild, Fornshell, and Clegg are going to come right up there with their other fellow brethrens. Will their brethrens be able to help them out? Can they get them up further to the field? They know they're going to have to watch out for the lap times. The fuel run can only go so far, and they're very, very well aware of that. This time by, we'll have only 22 laps left to go. So far, nothing but clean runs and clean air in front of them. Backing them down around over 60,000 still in attendance here. No one is literally on the edge of their seats right now. Everyone is literally just watching extremely closely, keeping a close eye on every little detail, every little spot these drivers are heading up and putting to their limits here. This is what you wanted to see. This is what you came to see. And this is what we're all about here on PTM Racing TV. We love this kind of racing. We love these kind of moments that on the edge of your seat. What will happen next? What's going to go down next kind of moments. The destination is always what takes Talladega and makes it so much fun. It makes it so crazy and insane. Oh, no, 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 no. And just as I said that, Brock Whitehead takes it to the bottom and gets stuck in the wrecks. Caution is out, and no, this is not what they wanted to do. This is not what they wanted to see, but unfortunately, you just can't drive it down there, and you just got to stay out of trouble. And unfortunately, Brockhead found that to be the toughest spot in the worst of times, and our first caution of the night comes out. What happened here? Was there contact? Looking right at this closely, no contact was made. This is just an errant move. This is an errant move here by Brockhead. I mean, I will give him the benefit of the doubt. There's not a whole lot you can do from that angle in that spot there. But, I mean, at the same time, this is just the inexperience, unfortunately, for this youngster because he knows he has still a lot of training to be had, still a lot of work to go on the series and on this race schedule. And, unfortunately, I think the nerves might have got him a little bit. He was just driving it way too hard and way too on the edge there where he should not have been, and it's costing him big time here. Well, I promised Eli the Wild Child I'd leave him alone until the very end of this race if he can win it, so I'm going to leave him alone for the night. But what we are going to do is we're going to go ahead and take a chat here with some of our other drivers right now and see how they're holding up here tonight. Let's take it down now and talk with the number 20, Jacob Givens. And Jacob, you know, it's been a while since we really kind of heard from you, really seen you kind of in that upper echelon, the top half, but right at the moment, you're staying in that top 20, top 15 range. I mean, do you feel like you're going to go for a big broke move here sooner or later? I think he might not be with us here in this case here. I think he might be just wanting to head down to Old Pit Road and be left alone. Either that or he's pulling a hairy game. Either that or he's pulling an Iceman on us in here and just doesn't want to talk. Well, we'll walk through the field and kind of keep it going here. We're going to talk now Rusty Motorsports here. Let's have a listen in with Rick Sargent and the number 27 here. And Rick, as you come on board here right now in that Vans machine, looks like things not been quite going your way here, as things been kind of a bit of a troublesome shoot. But I have to ask you, are you at least getting your lap back here on this restart?
You fellas are talking. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
I can.
All right. Well, you didn't hear anything we said, so I'll also repeat it real quick. So right now, I'm assuming you're probably getting your lap back, aren't you? Again, from that after the little struggles you had earlier on.
I am. Yep. Just got my lap back. It was lucky dog.
Lucky dog indeed. So with that in mind, now you're got just under 20 laps remaining here, coming to this next restart. What is it going to take for you and your crew to be able to push this thing to its fullest limits and get ahead of these guys? Because I know you guys are looking for a win here tonight.
Well, I think we're only going to have about 16 to go. So I'm going to definitely have to have my work cut out for me to get to the front. I think I can do it, but we're definitely going to have some three-wide racing for me to get up there.
Well, you know, it's Talladega, so it's 3-wide or 4-wide around here. Either way, you got a lot of work. You got a lot of time to bid at it with that kind of moment. So best of luck, bud.
Oh yeah, and I don't think we're done with cautions yet. I think cautions will breed cautions here for sure. But yeah, thank you.
We'll find out. Thanks for your time, Rick Sargent.
All right, well.
Rick, they're having a good time. Really, I think he's kind of expecting what he knows coming next. Take it down now and have a listen in with the Mid-Pack Racing crew. And George Young is now on the call with us here. George, great to have you back on here on PTM Racing TV. But right at the moment here, we've talked about it before, and you had a pretty decent qualifying time with the 11th position. But with a track and a field like this, I mean, with that Mid-Pack Racing crew, I mean, how difficult it is for you guys to kind of work together and kind of get through this field as the way it is, because it seems like these drivers are really pushing your luck and pushing yourselves to full limits here.
Yeah, it's tough here tonight. You know, it started out rough because, you know, those guys had to start in the back of the field. So we really haven't been able to get together at all tonight. But, you know, I think both of those guys are a lap down now. So I'm kind of on my own out here. But, you know, I'll try to hook up with somebody and get myself to the front.
You think maybe at the end of the day that this could be your time, this could be your track finally that gets you that first win?
I think it could be. I mean, if I can get anywhere up near that front, I think I can work my way through and get to that top spot.
Well, you certainly got a lot of time to do it and plenty of chances here. So, George, thank you for your time. We'll see what happens here, bud.
Thanks, man.
The number 48, ladies and gentlemen, George Young on the call list there. Race fans, we're getting ready to get back to the action here in just a brief moment. We'll be right back after this quick commercial message. Tonight's race, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you in part by our good friends over at Champion Power Equipment. You need the right tools for the right job. There's only one brand name we trust in, Champion Power Equipment. Be sure to check them out on their social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Also check out their website at championpowerequipment.com so you never miss a chance to get yourself the right tools, the right power generators, and all that. The best of the business and the best equipment you can get is Champion Power Equipment. Here we go, race fans. We'll bring him around in the back straightaway here, and this time we will let him loose, let him go green. And right now, Hagen, Hill, and Collins probably right now are rolling in their graves, probably a little bit annoyed that one caution came out. They were probably expecting this one to go full green. That strategy, yeah, well, it went out the window here, Westcott, I know. But I mean, if you do the math and you do the lap counts here, they had it start and really sped up perfectly. What will go down next? We bring the pace car off corner number 4. This time by race fans, we're going big, we're going broke. We're going to see which one's going to take this one home. It's going to be an all-out shootout because right at this moment with only 18 laps remaining, you might as well call it the final 10 left to go because these guys will not hesitate to put some run in between one another. There are no more fuel mileage issues here. It's all just run and go. Here we are, green flag back on out, Talladega, let's get to it. Right out the start, Collins, Hill, and Hagen immediately working together, trying to get set up because they know the boys on the outside, what their plan is. They're going to go for broke here. They've got to stay to that bottom and stick together. That's the only way they'll be able to survive, or at least get one of the Blackstone Management guys into victory lane. The rest of this crew, though, they do not care whatsoever. The only thing that's on their mind, put a pedal so far down into the metal that really the sun don't shine, and there are clouds in the sky on this one. The thing, too, is as well, is that a lot of those guys that were in those lower packs here, they're going to be put into a bit of an interesting spot. I'm kind of curious to see what's going to happen with the way they're playing this field out. They're playing this run down here. A lot of them could be maybe thinking strategy-wise. They could be looking towards ending their spots, ending their race round out here. They may be looking to try to set up for a whole lot of run, a whole lot of battle in here as we go 3 wide slid. And this is exactly what Rick Sargent was talking about earlier on. And look at that major block there that you saw Christopher M, Hill, Hagen, and Collins trying to do. They were trying to keep those guys to really have to work their way through the field, kind of muster up some momentum here. But for Triple Drake and by Whitehead, he's not trying to win some playoff contention spot and make it to the Final 4. He's looking for another win here in this on our show on PTM Racing TV. He's been to victory lane a couple times already. He actually does have a win in the Cup Series division. Looking for another one here today. He's looking to get wins in all 3 divisions: Cup, Xfinity, and Trucks. He'd be the only driver to do it out of our showcases with these guys for this season alone. But will he have time? Westcott saying probably won't be the last time, unfortunately. He's talking about the cautions he's talking about earlier on. Christopher M. Hill now and Boyd Hagen, now they work together. They're trying to help each other out. Hill, perfect crossover from top to the bottom. From the heavens above to the shadows below. It is the AC Avalanche 11 now taking full center stage. The 11 is your new leader. Right beside him, though, here the 91 of Hagen trying to gain some ground here with that 77 of Brian Lorenzo. Lorenzo kind of in the catbird spot. That's exactly where I would want to be if I'm in that final lap situation. Go to the outside and just send it on its way. And here we go. Now this is what you came to see. It's time for the ultimate of ACK Racing. The reason you want to watch a play track. It's time for the 3 white salute madness and mayhem to be brought center stage. You've got 2 of them at stake right now. 2 of them on the track going down and forth with this one. Which one's going to give in up to the front though? Here comes Kyle. Here comes Triple J Whitehead. Here comes Kyle Holden. Pouring on the gas, pouring on the momentum, trying to hang in there. Whitehead pushing it real hard there on Hill. He doesn't want to be left high and dry. He does not want to be in that bottom lane anymore, and he has to. He wants to sneak into the middle and then take that one over. It's one thing to block, and it's one thing to get kind of put in this pack extremely close together, and this is a sight to be had. The only times I ever see this is literally when they're going with the IMCA Super Nationals division and they run those 3 wide splits on the start of the race. That's the only time I ever see this, and this is exactly what we're getting right now at the plate track. We've got 5 3-wide salutes right on the back straightaway. Oh my Lord in heaven, help these guys out a little bit. Give them some fight and some room. There is no room for mistake here. And Brock Whitehead somehow, after that little problem earlier on, sticks his way back in the middle here, but they're going to be a little bit of trouble at the 44. Matthew Johnson got a little tipsy-turvy and a little sideways up the skirt. Hands just to hang on, though. No troubles there. Everybody else now jockeying for position, trying to fire it down. In the meanwhile, while we were talking about that madness up front, Rusty Motorsports is number 12. Kyle Holden has taken the race lead for the very first time today. We have a new leader. William McDaniel, hey bud, how's it going? You're missing a bit. You've been missing out, my friend, if you haven't watched this one. We're in the mix of a hot-headed fight between the top-tier drivers of Champion Power Cummins Cup Series in the Xfinity division tonight. And this is why they brought you the Xfinity. They wanted to showcase to you a true fight to the end and a survival of the race to the finish. This is what it's all about. Every single one of them trying to evade trouble, trying to stay out of that mess. Brock Whitehead, though, is going to get caught again. He gets sent up offside, backs off, doesn't want nothing to do with them down there. The field's starting to get a little bit out of control, a little bit more in the runoff zone. They're pushing for everything they've got and then some. Absolutely nobody is safe up front. If they make one wrong move, one slight error, somebody will be sent to the shadow realm. The cars will have to be sent to the graveyard and the junk realm. The junkyard realm is going to have a lot of cars being put in there tonight. If this is what I think it may end up being at the last minute. Only one caution throughout this entire race so far. We wondered, would they be able to keep that going? Would they be able to stay out of trouble just long enough? Oh no, that's not going to be the case for the Blaster Master. Robert Lawrence has crashed the 34 here on the front straightaway. The rest of the field remains green. No caution yet. William Mann Jr. involved in that one. Looks like the 29 has lost all his momentum and lost every single grip of the track here. He's got to hope for the best here. Everybody calming down slightly here. I think I might have to calm down a little bit too. I think my doctor just said your blood rate and your blood pressure just went up so high. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm just feeling the adrenaline rush. I know what these guys are feeling down there. Which is true, because again, I've raced these things with them before, and I'll tell you, it's flooring when you flip those final 11, 10 laps. Your hands start to sweat, the knees weak, and arms are heavy. You ate a little spaghetti, it's probably all over you sweated already. And everything else in between is just kind of helping you get through and find a seam. And finding a seam they do here. Look out for Snyder outside line. Here it comes, Court Snyder yet again. Snyder with a big push here from Nathan Meyer. Meyer trying to get him in that back, trying to get him on the run. Look at him hammer it down. Still nowhere to be had. The fans aren't sitting down. There's nobody sitting down right now. They're on their feet. They are all 60,000 fans in attendance are watching this on their feet right now. They are not going to sit back down until this one gets a little chaotic. 5 3-wide salutes. All for the lead, all for position, all jockeying. For the opportunity, the chance of a lifetime. Meyer gets a piece from Snyder. Meyer has to back off. He doesn't need to get any more of them. He knows he's got to lay off. He lays off just in the nick of time before Snyder can bring that rear end back up too close and too quickly. 9 remain. You don't get action anywhere else than here on PTM Racing TV. This is what you come to see, and you want to see it all the time. But this is those special moments you don't get all the time. You get that moment of weakness, that moment of truth. The absolute fight and a half. The battle amongst the best of the best and the finest of fields of drivers. They are still packed, stacked, racked, and all that. No one is leaving this pack in the 3-wide salute. Mayhem ahead. Oh, look at this, though. With a little bit of pushing and shoving there from the 44, Matthew Johnson. I don't think he knows where he's up to, but I think he's trying to get that 6 Viagra machine and Josh Ball up ahead a little bit so he can start making some runs here. There's not a whole lot of area to make a roundabout here on this corners and on this track. You just can't keep doing too much of it. You got to stay focused on it. is going to be able to get to the line first? Who is going to be able to even stay out of trouble first, much less even keep these things in one piece? I can't even for the life of me tell you who's going to win this one out right now. The way it's looking, Boyd Hagen is doing everything he can to block, defend, and train himself to stay in that hunt and stay in this victory lane spot. The laps are winding down. The driver is still patient for the most part. Everyone looking for the opening, though. One wrong turn, though, and next thing you know, it could be trouble area. And one big push, too, while you're at it, can end up costing some guys here more than they realize. Look out for George Young, though. We talked with him just a minute ago. Young still looking for his first win ever on PTM Racing TV, much less his first career win in the Champion Car Equipment Fast and Fun Cup Series, Xfiinity, call it whatever you want at this point. He's still looking for that first one. He's never done it. He's never got a win here. And it's been eking, it's been burning, it's been tearing him up deep inside, as much as some other drivers have done before. Can he finally get it done here tonight? But look out up top from the heavens above. Here comes the 90, Richard Fornshell, the Buffalo Wild Wings, Chevrolet Camaro. He sees an opening on the outside. He's trying to get the troops rallied behind him. Snyder and Taylor are following pursuit for a brief fleeting moment. They will not stay with it, though. They're trying to find any other ends, any other run they can here with 6 laps remaining. I'm out of breath just trying to call this. I'm out of breath just trying to even think about the scenarios of what's going to happen. This has literally got me on my head of my seat. Firing off on the back straightaway here still. It is still Hagen, Collins, Danzig, Meeks, Hill. The top 5 centered away here from that time by Collins on the outside, the defender of the Blackstone management team as he tries to help the Champion Car Equipment 91 of Boyd Hagen. Kersher is literally watching this one on from his place down home. He wants to see his birthday wish come true and get a win, but they're not gonna have to wait a minute. We've got a wreck off at the front straightaway. Huge wreck colliding in. Oh my goodness. We were hitting 5 to go. And now it's a green-white checker no matter which way you look at this one. Let's take a look at the PTM replay. Remember, these drivers do have 2 fast repairs, but they don't exactly have very many green-white checkers to work with. What happened here? Let's take a look. I mean, again, I've said it 1,000 times. Eventually, you're just going to make a mistake, and this is the mistake. Look at Janzik. He's the one that makes the mistake. You wouldn't have thought, of all people, Janzik be the one that makes the mistake here. But he was just way too close for his take and way too off-centered. Got himself in the wrong place at the wrong time. And ends up costing his teammate, Nathan Meyer, major chances and opportunities here, to say the least. Whoa! And some of these guys may not be too happy right about now. A huge little bump in the rear for some of them. Why, a lot of guys just completely getting tore apart, and a lot of them just trying to evade and stay out of trouble. Take it down now and have a listen in with some of our drivers here. Let's talk from the back of the back here. Right now, the Man Beast, Liam Mann Jr. is on our line here. And Man Beast, this was certainly a wild one for that chunk of laps here. And now you catch a huge break to be able to go at it with these guys one more time. But tell us what happened in the beginning of all that mess.
There was a couple checkups. I saw Craig going sideways, and I think Trey was behind me at the moment, and he didn't see enough. And when he checked up, it was too late. He was already all over me. I had to go through the pits and save it. Luckily, Costa came back out. We got some room. I might be able to. We're gonna send it. I got nothing else to do. To hell with it.
I'm gonna ask you this then. Do you think there's enough of a chance to get this one in and finally end your curse?
I don't know, man. People are making sketchy decisions the last run. It's going to be a short run, so people are going to be a little bit desperate. I got nothing to lose coming from the back. I just gained 10 spots off the caution. But you know what? We're gonna give it a full shot, pedal to the metal. If you're in the way, you better move, because we're coming.
Best of luck there, Man Beast.
Appreciate it, sir.
William Mann Jr., ladies and gentlemen, he's giving you all his thoughts and then some here. He's going to make every single one of these drivers think about this one. That is for certain. Take it down now. Talk with Olsen Performances, Garth Snyder in the 88, and Garth. Well, let's talk about a night you've had, buddy, and you've been all on it and all over the place here up in that top half, but now you're going to have to work with a whole new car and a whole new lineup here because that last caution kind of did a number on you, didn't it?
Yeah, we had a little bit of nose damage there. Top line was fast, and we had to run to the front, but it wasn't. This was too much nose damage, so took our fast repair. We're gonna see what we can do here. We gotta work our way back up a little bit, but I think we might be able to do something.
Now I heard a few of these guys say a minute ago that they've been seeing some sketchy moves, and they plan to just send it on this last run. What about your thoughts? What do you plan to do here on this go?
Oh man, I'm just gonna give her the beans. I got her taped up, and I'm gonna send it.
Well, we know how you are, and we know what you'll do. So Snyder, best of luck, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
Garth Snyder in the 88, ladies and gentlemen, setting the tone and setting the field up for this one here. We'll see what happens with him and his crew. Let's take it down. Talk with Team Dump and Run, ladies and gentlemen. Jason Taylor now on the line here in the number 15 Hardy's Machine. And Taylor, I know this has not really been your best night as well, or day, I should say, here at Talladega, but you still have a chance and really an opportunity to maybe pull something off if it all kind of comes together.
Oh yeah, you always got a chance here. No, car's been good. We got a little too far back there at the beginning. That was a lot of fun there, the 3 wide, and I hope you enjoyed it. If I can get up there, I got a chance.
If I said it once, I'll say it again. If you think I enjoyed it, just watch the broadcast and you'll figure out whether or not I did or not. I know the fans enjoyed it, though. That's one thing I'll tell you.
Surprised you still have your voice.
Well, of course I have my voice. I've learned with you guys in Talladega that it's going to happen, so I've learned to kind of cope and learn how to control it.
Oh yeah. Well, this is going to be exciting here.
It is indeed. Well, Taylor, thank you for your time, bud. Best of luck on this
All right.
final restart.
All right, thanks, Chris.
Jason Taylor, ladies and gentlemen, the number 15, looking to do the unthinkable. Pour it from the back of the outhouse, send it to the White House. Race fans, this is it. You want to talk about wild moments? You want to talk about moments that live on in infamy? This is one thing about Talladega and Daytona that makes for incredible days and nights. This is literally the biggest opportunity and the biggest chance being taken here by every single one of these drivers that is in this pack right here and now. Dalton Collins, Boyd Hagen, and Christopher M. Hill somehow, some way have been in the top 3 spots since these restarts. And their problem, though, and in their way, lies one of Tyler Meeks, Brock Whitehead, Josh Ball in the Viagra 6, and even the Zany fan Craig Janzik with Matthew Johnson kind of sneaking his way in. There is no limits, no gimmies here. You either win it or you're done and out. Our first green-white checkered attempt is coming up here, race fans. And I usually don't say this all too often, but if you're on our YouTube end, share with your friends and make sure some folks see this one, because you may hear an announcer lose his voice in about 2 seconds. Rodney Christensen saying this has been a really great race. It has indeed, and now the journey was fun, but we got one last thing to do. It's time to end it. The Fast and Fun Champion Power Equipment Series, where they usually it's a cup. This time it's the Xfiinity. We'll return to Cup Series next week. But now, championships on the line. Top opportunities being put on the risk. It's time to go green. Green flag is back on out. The green-white checkered attempt is now in full motion, in full gear. Look at the guys behind them. They're already backing off just enough to set the run. Can they set their car in motion? They'll have one chance. One lap. That's all they get. Can they do it? Tyler Meeks there waiting for someone in the back to help him out. Waiting for some help or something. He knows no one's going to give him any help on the bottom end there. Dalton Collins taking it over from Boyd Hagen there. Hagen and Christopher M. Hill doing exactly what they want, exactly what they need to hang in that top 3. Ladies and gentlemen, this time it's time to bring out the white flag to the line. Can they get there? They're one step away. One corner or two off, down the triangle. There it is. White flag is out. And now that means that doesn't matter if they wreck or they crash. That don't matter now. You either win it or you lose it. Looking for it on the top side. He's going to go for the unthinkable here and try to get it without some help. He's going to do everything he can. Meek's still right in that middle section. He's got help from Clegg now, pushing right through the field. Dalton Collins and Boyd Hagen are going to block here. They're going to push each other straight ahead. They're going to bring him hard down that back straightaway. Hard racing coming through the corners. Which one's going to get the advantage? Look at Brockhead on the outside. He's getting some help there too. Might have a little bit left to go. Clegg and them will wreck right behind him. They all crashed out big time here. We've got one pack left to go. They're trying to get right into the middle. They're trying to get one more run up. He's not going to get it. They'll lead him down up a corner number 4 down the straightaway to the finish line. It's going to be a battle to the line. But Boyd Hagen will hold on to the finish. Oh my, oh my. Well, Kevin Kashara, you got your birthday wish, buddy. Your 91 goes to victory lane. Boyd Hagen, the lone Canadian, will defeat every single one of these drivers out on the track and take home a victory for the first time in his career here on PTM Racing TV. What an absolute star-studded lineup and finish, to say the least, here. And that strategy that the Blackstone Management Racing Team put on display here, absolutely ingenious. And Hagen, really, I don't think it could have asked for anything better here in this case. That is something, my friends. What a race and a battle from start to finish and an ending like that. We said that there may be a first-time winner here on PTM Racing TV. We got another one. And his name is Boyd Hagen. Oh boy, this guy, I think he's gonna burn us down a good donut here. There it is. There's that burnout. Here it is. Just drive that thing till the motor blows, bud. I think Sham Power Company's got enough tools in there to fix it. I don't think they mind too much. Well, race fans, there's only one thing left to do. Talk with the top 3, but here is our finishers here tonight. Boyd Hagen, he takes home his first career win. The lone Canadian taking down all the other drivers and the Americans here. Down here at Talladega County, Alabama. Dalton Collins, though, a solid second place finish. Only defeated out by 18 thousandths of a second. Josh Ball, solid finish for him. Third. Fourth to Jazani fam Craig Janzik. Fifth to Tyler Meeks. Sixth to Eli the Wild Child. See, looks Childs can't get on me for not bringing in the broadcast, but at least it didn't curse you. Christopher Redhill gets 7th. 8th to Brock Whitehead. Brockhead with a solid placing finish. Kyle Holden gets 9th. 10th to Nathan Meyer. That rounds out your top 10. We'll take a look at our other finishers and then talk with the stars from the cars and have a listen to this one. This was absolutely wild, to say the least, my friends. This was a fight from the beginning to the end. What a race. So, alright. Now that things have calmed down, my voice is not shot, for the record, folks. I'm still good. I'm still here. I'm not done just yet. But it's time at last to bring in the top 3, and starting it up with our third place finisher here tonight. From the 21 side, it's the number 6 Viagra Machine, your third place finisher. Josh Ball joins me here now on PTM Racing TV. And Josh, congratulations, man. What a race it was for you and your crew. And you had a lot of working around to do down there. You had some pushing and shoving in there too, my friend.
Yeah, we were definitely all over during the race. We were up front, then we were in the back, then we were crashed, and then we were in the back, and then we were coming through the field. So, it was definitely an all-around interesting night. So, but I'll take the P3. I was trying to get to the front there. Everybody was just making crazy moves there at the last second. So I tried to push the 82 to the win, but I hit him just a tiny bit, maybe not square enough, or the 83. I'm sorry. And I guess he couldn't hold it, so the 90 got around him, 91.
For sure there, but I mean, nevertheless, here a lot of moments here in between where he had to kind of really push and shove, obviously, to get these cars to move around. And those packs now at the 3 wide salute, I have to believe that you guys were pretty much kind of thinking that same thing over and over. I just got to do everything I can to get through these guys, isn't it?
Yeah, there at the end, I mean, it was, trying to do as much as we can, just following where the lines were allowing us to go, because, prior to that wreck that I was involved in, it was pretty much, single file, except for some double file and triple at the beginning. But it was a decent race. These cars bring a good style here to Talladega. So all in all, at least we had some good racing.
For sure there. Now I have to ask you, you're going to come away with a top 3 finish here tonight, so who do you want to thank you for this one?
Yeah, I just want to thank James and Eli and everybody that helps put on the league. Obviously Champion for sponsoring us and everything you guys do for here at Fast and Fun, and you for putting on the show here at the broadcast.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, there, Josh Ball, appreciate you coming on board here tonight. Congratulations on 3rd place finish, sir, and we certainly hope to see you in the near future, my friend.
Thank you.
Josh Ball, ladies and gentlemen, here with a solid performance here, coming away here in the number 6 for our 3rd place finish here tonight. Race fans, let's talk down now here with your 2nd place finisher here tonight, Mr. Dalton Collins. He'll join me now here in the booth here as he's out of the car and all squared away here. Dalton, congratulations on a 2nd place finish here, man. And I know probably wasn't the finish you were hoping for or looking for. Things got a little wild on that front end of that finish line, didn't it?
Yeah, man, it was honestly a lot of fun. Just coming out here once again, getting back in this 83 and wheeling this KLGL machine. But yeah, looking for that win there on the last lap. But yeah, just got a little crazy and still able to come out with a 1-2 for Legacy.
For sure there, and I know obviously you had a lot of crazy moments in between, really some major happenings in between there as well with the way the car was, and obviously you had a lot of moments where it seemed like you guys were going to get either kind of put into a bit of a bad spot or a tricky little area to run off of, but your team really just seemed to stay under control and really just out in that moment. How did you guys do it? How was it even able to stay in that place to begin with?
I mean, really just that car that we had, and I mean, all 3 of them were really, really fast. Just really every time we come to the restrictor plates on the official side, I mean, we always have really good B cars for Talladega and also the Cup cars, but yeah, man, this is an old hot rod we built back in the summer, and Chris Hill did a really good job on this thing, getting it tuned up for tonight. But yeah, I mean, just really fast cars, man. We just stayed together and really fast. We actually pulled a really sneaky pit strategy there, trying to gain some time, which we did. But I think we had a caution with like 20 to go there, and yeah, just trying to do what we could to get the win, and we got it there. But wish it could be 1, 2, 3 with Chris, but that's how it goes sometimes, and at least we got the win.
For sure there is. Anybody you want to thank you for that 2nd place finish here, Dalton?
Yeah, everybody at Legacy, Kevin, Randall, Kale, they help us out getting in here and get some laps, getting some exposure. Blackstone Management, Champion, AC Avalanche Blaster, everybody that's with us, Curb Records, everybody that's with us that gets these things fast, and Chris Hill for helping out with this thing. Like I said, it's an old setup that we had that's still really, really fast. So thanking to him, Boyd Hogan, everybody at Legacy, really good job.
For sure. Well, man, nevertheless here, what a race it was from start to finish here. Congratulations here on your 2nd place finish, man. We certainly hope to see more of you in the future.
Thank you, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, there, Dalton Collins coming away with a solid 3rd place finish here tonight. Race fans, though, he joins me here in victory lane. Here he is, your winner tonight. All the way from our friends up in the northern section of the world, from Canada, it's Boyd Hawken coming away with the W in the 91. And Boyd, congratulations, man, on this win. And I think it's probably a little more special that the birthday boy ends up having his own car be put into victory lane. You're the man to do it on your first trip ever here on PTM Racing TV. What a debut and a race for you, sir.
Dude, honestly, it's an honor. I didn't know I was doing it until about an hour ago. Got the call. It's Gav had his birthday dinner to go to. I wish I could have been there, honestly, but damn, that was wild. What a debut. It's an honor to do it in the 91 car. I'll tell you, I love Kevin, man. That guy is it's a great man. So it's definitely a good opener. Shout out to Champion and Green Mountain and Curb Records, Blaster, AC Avalanche, Blackstone Management, everything they do for us, and of course, it's cool to come into a league they're a big part of, and Kevin's a big part of, and this one's special for sure. happy birthday to the boss, man. I hope he's watching. I hope he saw it. That was fun.
I think if he hasn't watched it already, he'll go back and watch it really quickly, knowing what just happened. But I'll ask you this real quick, Boyd. This really was kind of the changing point that we were noticing here on the track. You guys had two different strategies here from what we saw, and it was really it had to adapt and evolve throughout this race. But from the beginning, you guys had a very unique strategy. You went about 11 or 10, 12 laps or so on that track before you went to pit road, and then you timed out exactly how much fuel in line you needed for you and your Blackstone Management Racing team to get into just the three of you going 1, 2, 3 for a finish ahead of everyone else. The cautions come out. Next thing you know, you have to adapt on the fly. How hard is it just for you guys to go out there and adapt completely right there and then to make sure you can at least come away with the W as you have done today?
Yeah, I mean it's not too hard. This is I mean it's really nothing new to what we've been doing, both obviously with Blackstone and Legacy. It's kind of just it's what we've been doing on plate tracks for quite some time, and I mean you always expect the late cautions, but you don't necessarily need to be caught up in the wrecks in the middle of the race that tend to happen. So I mean really it's a safe strategy. The car was incredible tonight, so shout out to Chris Hill for that, and I mean I think he's the one who kind of got messed around in the finish there. So I mean, shout out to him. That dude is a trooper and full on team player, and I love him to death like a brother, man. But
Well,
same thing with DC. You know, shout out to those guys. It takes really good teamwork and a certain level of commitment to each other for sure to make it work. But I mean, I've got the best group of guys around me I think that I could have ever imagined being on the sim, and that's a big part of it, man. You got to bring cars with speed, and as long as you have that and you got a strategy to kind of survive in these things, I mean, usually they're not too big of a problem, and you can finish up front and run well. It's really just you got to be smart and you got to stay out of trouble. And I mean, our strategy was really just it's the most optimal one for staying out of trouble. And as soon as the caution does come out, you're cycled through to the lead anyway, and all you got to do is keep that. I mean, you got to throw a couple bad blocks, which hurts a little bit of feelings, but I don't think anybody was too mad tonight, so we're all right.
for sure there. Well, nevertheless, though, my man, I have to ask you, as if I would sign off tonight, is there anybody else you want to thank to end this night off here at Talladega with your first win?
Well, I gotta thank Kevin for the opportunity for sure. It was I've been asking, I've been wanting to come race with you guys for a while, um, and been helping out with the cars here for the last couple of months, and you know it's big to get the opportunity. So I gotta thank Kevin, gotta thank everybody on Legacy. Again, shout out to everybody that's partnered with Blackstone and everything we're doing there. Champion especially, man. Like, look, did you see that car? That paint scheme is unreal. I love it. Um,
It's usually a one that we see a lot here on Beach Race TV. I'm usually up front while we're at it.
yes, sir. Kevin is a wheel man. I love Kevin. But yeah, I gotta thank those guys. Everybody at Reaper Speed Lab. Um, you guys for putting on the show that you do. I was watching last week. I saw Chris won Charlotte, and I mean that was quite the broadcast. It was good to watch. I enjoyed it. And you guys for putting on such a good league. I can't believe we just had a plate race with 2 or 3 cautions. That was awesome.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, here, Boyd, thank you for coming on board, man. And what a day it has been, and a big victory for you and your crew. Can go ahead and celebrate down there. Take this one on home to your home country. You are the winner here tonight, man. Congratulations.
Yes, sir. Thank you, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, your race winner here tonight in the number 91, representing for Kevin Cristor tonight, Boyd Hagen, and taking this one home, his first career win of the Champion Power Equipment Cup Series, Xfinity Series, whatever we're going to call it tonight here. It is the Xfinity Cars Moran, but it's the Cups division all around we run here with these Champion Power Equipment guys. Thank you so much for tuning in here on P3's TV, ladies and gentlemen. We thank you for your support. We thank you for this joining into the show. We certainly hope you enjoyed it. And we'll see you very soon. Come Thursday night, more action to come, and more action come Friday night. More on that in the future. For now, be safe, and I will see you extremely soon.